Hello, I'm Ludmila Goncharova and I'm a teacher of English at Kiev Gymnasium number 315. Our today's lesson will be about you. We are going to talk about things that you use, or I would even say overuse, in your everyday life. These are your best friends' gadgets. So we will revise vocabulary on this topic. Then we will also try to make out what sort of personality you are. So that's another topic for revision. And I hope you will learn some useful information about your peers or people of your age. I hope all this will help you to express yourself better. So let's begin. Look at these letters. If I asked you what they stand for, they would most probably say that these are the three last letters of the English alphabet: X, Y, and Z. That's true, but not only this. They also stand for the three generations: Generation X, Generation Y, and Generation Z. To make a long story short, I'll just mention that Generation X created internet for us. Thanks a lot. Generation Y are called millennials, or selfie generation, and Generation Z are actually you. Let's pay closer attention to Generation Z then. It's got quite many names. Gen Z for short, We generation. Teenagers of Generation Z is called screenagers. We will find out why. And the last word that appears not a long time ago, Zoomers. And I think we understand why. Quite many of us have been using this platform heavily in recent times. So why are you called screenagers? Because amazingly, you can use up to 5 screens at a time. I think everybody can imagine himself or herself sitting in a classroom, looking at an interactive whiteboard with a notebook or on the desk or a smartphone in the hand, and at the same time reading some information on a tablet. So these are screens, and they say that people of Generation Z can use, as I mentioned, up to 5 screens at a time. So Julius Caesar would be proud of you. So we have mentioned an interactive whiteboard. That's a mobile phone, a cell phone, or it's a small computer actually now, so it is a smartphone, as we know. That's a laptop. We can put it in our lap, on our knees, and we can take it everywhere. It's convenient to work with it. Then there is a desktop computer. This one is all-in-one computer. A tablet. You take it to school quite often, I think. An e-book. Some people prefer electronic books, some people prefer traditional. And a sat-nav, or we usually call it a GPS. That is a satellite navigator. So let's revise the words and match the pictures and the words. Let's start with this one. Old, good TV. As we know, this is a television, and quite many people use it now. Then we've got an e-book here. Where is it? Here, that's an e-book, electronic book. Right, you are. A sat-nav, as we know. Let's find the word for it. A sat-nav. A laptop. Here we go. Our favorite mobile or smartphone. Interactive whiteboards. Great. Our computer. And a tablet. Well, another name for Gen Zs is We Generation. And your slogan or hashtag could be care and share. Why is it so? Well, because you take care of quite many things. And this is environment. Just think of Greta Thunberg. What can you take care of? We are in Kiev, and as everybody knows, we've got rivers here, lakes and parks. And the minimum that we can do, we may not drop litters. We may try to keep our environment clean. Or we can sometimes even put on our gloves and go to the parks and clean our favorite park or even a lake. Good. Air. It's not a secret that Kiev has got not the cleanest air in the world, but you can help it. By doing what? By walking or cycling to school instead of asking your parents to drop you to school even if you're living well, a kilometer or two from school. So walk and cycle, and it's healthy. And you can buy locally. You can buy local products, because if lorries or planes deliver goods from far, far, far away, they burn a lot of fuel, and that pollutes environment. So it's good to buy local food. We've got quite a lot of greenhouses in Kyiv region. Then you care about animals. What's animals? Animals in danger, say, that can become extinct. Even how can you help? You can donate by doing what? By saving money. In what way? Not buying, for example, fast foods or chewing gums, and you can donate. It's easy to do it by internet. And you can campaign for saving. You can advertise these animals and campaigns for their saving, again, on the internet. And if you speak about stray animals, you can volunteer in animal shelters where you can walk, feed, or play with the animals. So you are a generation that cares. A good example of caring generation would be this initiative by some Kyivites. Some of you have probably seen these boxes in the streets of Kyiv. They do two important things. If you have an empty plastic bottle, you can put it inside, and some stray animals, animals that live in the streets, can get some food or water from this box. And the plastic bottles are taken out and are recycled. So you help the animals and you help save the environment. You are really a caring generation. Well, let's move on. We generation is the generation that cares and shares. So what do we usually share? We can share music, that's what you like doing, files, all sorts of information, clothes. It's not good to do it in the times of pandemic, but that's in the habits of teenagers. We share emotions. If you smile at somebody, you will most definitely have a smile in return. A flat, it's cheaper if you share a flat. You share food, maybe at a school break, or some organizations share food with poor countries and with people who have hungers in their countries. And what is important for us now, the world tries to share medicine, vaccine. Okay, so Generation Z. Here are some interesting facts about you. What sort of people you are? You are social or sociable. Just think about it. 7.6 hours per day are spent socializing with friends and family. Good. It's another question how you socialize. Do you talk face-to-face or is it in social medias? But you spend so many hours just socializing. You're, of course, digitally natives, as you were born in the times when the internet was already created. You're multitaskers. Remember, you can work on up to 5 screens at once. Tech-savvy. 66% say that technology makes them feel that anything is possible in this world. You are educated. You are cautious at the same time, but what should be said, less focused. Generation Z has an attention span of just 8 seconds. So let's revise. What words can we use to describe your generation? You are tech-savvy, intelligent, ambitious, open-minded, lonely sometimes, cautious, educated, and considerate. Why are you tech-savvy? Because you use quite a lot of devices and gadgets. Intelligent, you need to be intelligent to do this. Ambitious, quite many people, and I think including you, think about a good university or institute and then about getting a good job and making a career. So you have goals in your life. You're open-minded, as they say. You don't care about the color of people's skin or their origin, and that's good. Cautious, yes, you need to think now to take decisions. Considerate, as we have mentioned, you care about the environment, about animals, and of course about people. This volunteering movement is very widespread now. And you are educated, you are at school, and you have plans to continue your education. And you are cautious, as I've mentioned, you think before acting. All this is about you, Generation Z, and teenagers of this generation, screenagers. This is a diagram about communication. As you can see, it shows that Gen Zs prefer to be communicated with face-to-face. It means that you would rather talk to someone in person than send a text message. Only 8% would prefer to be communicated with social media, in social media, or send emails, 11%. Phones would be used by only 14%, and texting is in favor for 24%. And when we say texting, we mean pressing the keys on the phone and sending the messages. Well, so also people say that you spend too much time on the gadgets. But what do you really think? Look, here is a point of view of one of the teenagers. Let's read it, but there is the task for you. We need to use the words in their appropriate forms here. Let's start. So this is, as you remember, the point of view of a teenager. And his or she says, some adults think that teenagers spend too much time on their computers, iPads, and other gadgets. However, I think that the opinion that computers are evil is, and now we need the words, fair, unfair, unfairly. In the first sentence, there is the statement that the speaker doesn't agree with. We see it with the word however. So it needs contradiction. Would it be fair that the opinion is evil? No, it will be unfair here. Let's go on. The computer is the what? We've got an article here, so probably we need a noun after the article. Do we have here? Yes, reality is a noun. So the computer is the reality of our new world. And it's silly to do what? After to, we need an infinitive. So we've got several of them, and we need the correct one. Disapprove, misapprove, or unapprove. That's the correct variant here. So the computer is the reality of our new world, and it's silly to disapprove of children using it. We can't do without computers. How can't we do? Simply an adverb here. We need them for purposes. What purposes? We need an adjective for this noun, and this adjective is educational purposes, and they help us keep in touch with friends. Sometimes we use them for what? We can say entertainment or entertaining. What words do we have here? Entertainment, right? Playing games is not a waste of time either. While playing, we become more skillful. But where is the right spelling? That's the one with one L in the end. While playing, we become more skillful on the computer. This is just my opinion. What person? Opinion? Personal. That's the right spelling because personal is the synonym of stuff. So we've got the text. My personal opinion, but lots of my friends share it. So that's the text that gives the idea of what you think about computers and gadgets in general. Jonathan Reed wrote an interesting poem about the lost generation. It's not about the people of a certain period of time. It's about poets, writers, artists who created after the World War I. If you read it, it may sound pessimistic, and it is actually. Just let's read the first verse. I'm a part of a lost generation, and I refuse to believe that I can change the world. Quite pessimistic, isn't it? But if we read it from the bottom and upwards, the idea is completely different. Let's try to do it. I can change the world, and I refuse to believe that I am a part of a lost generation. The poem is a bit longer. You can find it on the internet and read in whole. Here, this is just another example of this controversy, I would say. So, if you start from the bottom, it will sound like this. It's foolish to presume that there is hope, but I prefer the optimistic version. There is hope. It's foolish to presume that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It will be evident that my peers and I care about this earth. No longer can it be said that environmental destruction will be the norm in the future. That's a good poem. I think that you will like it. So your home task will be to find the poem on the internet, read it, and say what version you prefer. Well, thank you for being with me. Take care. See you.